Welcome to today's tale. This is going to be something a little bit different, as I'm going to be telling the story of Stingy Jack. As it's coming up to Simonius, this is a great time to tell the story. Now, I'm going to tell you two of the versions of Stingy Jack. This is just one of them, and I'll do the second one right after. They're similar, but there are slight differences. So, the story of Stingy Jack, why we carve turnips, and which led into when the Irish came over to the west to carve pumpkins, because, trust me, pumpkins are a lot easier than turnips to carve. Just saying. Anyways, I enjoy carving turnips. I do it every year. So this is the story on why. An Irish cunning named Stingy Jack is the protagonist of this classic folktale. The story explores themes of immorality as well as all the power of, the Irish gift of the gab, thanks to my family's castle, Blarney Castle. And you kiss the Blarney Stone, you get the gift of gab. Anyways, enjoy. This is just one of the versions. I will be doing the second version after this. Hundreds of years ago, while a grifter named Jack the Smith, or Stingy Jack, lived in one of Ireland's small villages. Over the years, he gained a reputation as a sick con man, who also enjoyed a drop of whiskey. In fact, Jack's unsavory reputation was so well known that, according to legend, the devil himself came to learn of Jack the Smith and his dirty deeds. Skeptical of that this Irishman could be capable of such deceits and manipulations that rivaled his own, the devil went to take a look for himself. He found Jack inebriated and roaming the village where he lived. The devil prepared carefully for his first encounter with Jack the Smith. As he saw Stingy Jack looming in the distance, he laid down on a stone pathway, planting a fearsome grin on his face. This is the first encounter where Jack meets the devil. As soon as Jack saw this sprawled body with its frightening otherworldly smile, he knew exactly who it was. Jack figured the game was up. He'd been caught for all the sins, and the devil was finally coming to claim his soul. Trying to escape the hellfire and damnation, Jack cooked up a last request. One that would grant him a last pint at a local pub with the devil in tow, before Satan took his due. Now remember, this comes from the time when Christianity had taken over Ireland. So this is not a pre-Christian story. This is a after Christianity story. The devil was intrigued by Jack and took him up on his offer. They departed for the pub where the devil supplied all manner of intoxicants to Stingy. In order to pay for all the drinks, Jack convinced Satan to transform himself into a coin that would cover the entire town. The devil agreed. And once he was turned into coin, Jack smiled and shoved the piece of money in his pocket. The devil did not know Jack kept a tiny crucifix there. This sacred symbol prevented the devil from changing back into his true form and claiming the soul of Stingy Jack. In order to free himself, the devil made a deal with Jack the Smith. They made a pact that would grant Jack an additional decade of freedom. In exchange, the devil could return to perform firm and wander back to his domain. After 10 years had passed, the devil came to try him again. Second encounter. Jack's second encounter with the devil began much like the first one. Jack seemed to go along with Satan's request. However, he begged for a single apple. as a last meal before descending to the underworld. The devil was well gullible and agreed to Jack's request. And then the devil climbed an apple tree to find a tasty snack for nourishment. When the devil was high up in the tree, Jack placed crosses in a circle around the base of the tree. Thus, Satan was trapped again. This time, Jack made it different. He demanded that the devil never take him to hell. And the devil agreed. When Jack died from his wanton lifestyle, he was barred from heaven and caught in limbo. He decided to ask for admissions to the underworld, hell, after all. However, Satan could not break the pact they had made to take him in. Instead, he could only give Jack a tiny ember from the hellfire, one which signaled that he was part of the netherworld. Jack was forced to wander the bleak world forever, carrying a burning ember inside of a scooped out turnip. And this is how it came across that we carved turnips, and the little flickering light on the inside is how we get the light of the turnip. Now, this is a second telling of the Stingy Jack story. The traditions of Halloween originate from a blend of Symbolizing and the Irish Celtic celebration marking the end of summer harvest, and the Christian traditions of honoring saints and martyrs. Basically what the Christians stole from the pagans. Trick-or-treating and scary costumes are just two of the ancient traditions that have survived. Today, one of the most beloved Halloween is the pumpkin carving, or here in Ireland, the turnip carving. An old Irish tale explains the origin of it and how the scary gourds got their name. It all goes back to a horrible man people call Stingy Jack. And this is another version of the story, which is going to be pretty close to the first one, but a little bit different. This is just one version about a foul drunkard black who was known as Stingy Jack. Jack was two-faced, deceitful schemer who thrived on manipulating people. His selfish spirit possessed not a shred of humanity or kindness for anyone, and the homeless beggars only repulsed him. Word of his vile reputation reached Satan, who took more than a passing interest in the evil of man. So he put into plans in motion to meet him. One evening, in the dark hills of New Ireland, one of Satan's devils poised his dead man waiting for Stingy Jack to run off into it. When Jack came across the body, deranged face and wide eyes, and an evil grin staring back at him, Stingy instantly recognized it was time his up, and the devil had come to collect his soul. He begged for a final request, which he was granted. Jack told him that he wanted just one more drink before he departed the world, and he took the devil to the nearest tavern. One drink turned into another, and before long the consumption of alcohol extended the demand that there was nothing left for the pair to drink. When it was time for them to settle up, Jack didn't have any money, and he casually turned to his new drinking buddy and suggested that since he was the devil with magical powers, he could simply transform himself into a piece of silver to pay the tab. The devil obliged, but instead of paying, Jack rammed the coin into his pocket. Aware that Stingy Jack had double-crossed him, the devil fought to get out. However, a crucifix in his pocket trapped him. Jack made a deal with the devil, and he would leave Jack alone for a decade. He would release him from the coin, and a deal was made. Once his amnesty was reached, the devil found Jack once more, ready to take him to hell. This time, however, Jack asked for the apple from the nearby apple tree to quell his hunger on the long journey. This time, however, Jack asked for an apple from to quell his hunger. On the long journey where the devil selected an apple, Jack carved for a crucifix in the bark of the tree, trapping evil weed within its branches. On the condition that Jack will not go to hell, Jack once again offered to him his freedom. Once again, there was little choice but to submit to the man's wishes. Stingy Jack continued the rest of his life safe in the knowledge that he had outsmarted the devil, not once, but twice. Many years of alcoholism finally took the toll, and it seemed Stingy Jack could outsmart the devil, but definitely not outsmart the devil. When he found himself standing in front of the pearly gates, Peter turned him away. Christian heaven, as many people know, would not welcome a lying, deceitful drunk. Undiscouraged, Jack headed towards hell, where his nemesis was biding his time to get revenge. Satan also refused him entry, citing the agreement they made when Jack was very much alive. Although neither heaven nor hell allowed Jack entry, Satan did grant one last wish. Jack asked for an ember from the fiery depths to give him a little light while he wandered the world in darkness. Satan picked out one red-hot coal and gave it to Jack. To carry his burning ember, Jack found a turnip and hollowed it out, and turning it into a makeshift lantern. Ever since then, Jack's ghost could be seen wandering aimlessly around the Irish countryside. Whenever locals saw mysterious lights, they would say, it's just jack-o'-lantern. Maybe the term became synonymous with the name for Stingy Jack's wandering spirit, jack-o'-lantern. This is, again, part of how this was originated. When evil Jack, damned to wander the world until Judgment Day, the Irish Gaelic community did not want his spirit visiting their homes. So, they took precautions on Simonius, the day of it. On this day, the spirits of the netherworld could pass through to the world of the living. Ghosts were attracted to the living. So each home carved a menacing face into the turnips and rutabagas, and promptly displayed them on their doorsteps with a burning ember, a candle. Just like Stingy Jack's. And this keep away the spirits, including Jack. Now, in the 19th and early 20th centuries, Irish migrated to America and brought along, well, of course, their beliefs, holidays, and traditions that weren't ripped apart and away by Christianity. They quickly realized there was a type of gourd indigenous to America that was bigger for carving the jack-o'-lanterns. Of course, this was the pumpkin. And on the same day of Simonius, lots of Americans now bought and carved pumpkins, also known as jack-o'-lanterns, and leave them on their doorstep. And there's just a little bit of Irish folklore and history. And this is my turnip for this year. And as you can see on the inside, there's a candle that I will light on Simonius and put it outside on my step to ward off the evil spirits and keep Stingy Jack at bay.